Hello guys, welcome to my channel again. If you don't know me, I'm kind of like a showmanship member of my club. I kind of live in Walsh, kind of outside of Walsh, towards Elkhart a little bit, in Kansas. I'm going to be showing you how to put your holders on your steers. I had no steer feet in the barn. I'm sorry. But I'll show you the different types of holders and how to use them. So, like I said last time, I had different kinds of holders for different sizes of steers. So I'm going to be showing you some of the holders that I have with me. So I have this bigger one, and this is the smaller one for my little calf. And yes, it is small, but it's because it needs to be fitting around his head and ears. So this strap right here goes across his nose. This goes under his brisket. I think that's how you say it. I don't know. It's under his neck. This goes behind his ears. And make sure that you hold your lead rope like this. And it will kind of like squeeze his neck a little bit, but it won't choke him. It'll just make him want to lead. But that's the calf holder. This is a bigger version of the calf holder, except for this one is not homemade. It's actually made. The other one just has a random thing on it for some reason because we couldn't fit it around my big fat steer's head. So this is kind of like the same way. You just put this under his brisket, put this over his nose, and then put the other strap behind his ears. Same way with the other holders, except for they're kind of different because they are leather. So if you can see there, I have dairy holders and steer holders. So let me find dairy. So this is a dairy holder. It has a longer lead. Usual, same way. You just put this chain on the bottom and then put this on the top of the nose and then wrap this around their little ears. And same way you hold it, except for this has a longer lead for dairy cows. And I really use it. I might use it for steers, but not really. This is for steers. They have a retractable thing here so you can take their chain off if you want before you show. It's kind of longer, but it's just because it has a thicker. The other one that I showed you had a thin thing. So if you ever want to get a holder, make sure your holder strap right here that you hold on to is thick so you can grab around it. So technically all you have to do is to put the holder on. If you need to adjust it, you just put it in this kind of little loop. It's kind of like a belt. And then you clip it and then tuck it. Now there's different colors for different steers. Sometimes I don't have the right colors for whatever steer I have. And I'll be talking about different kinds of steers in another video if I ever get to it. Sometimes I never get the videos that I want to do. So it might be later on. Then this wraps around the head. I know this one has like two things. For some reason they just make things kind of stupid. But then you put your little chain into the bottom and hook it onto one of the deals. Make sure to loop it in to one of the hooks or the loops, and then clip it on the other one that you didn't loop through. It's the same contraption as the other ones because the other ones are breaking holders. All you have to do is just tug it and it retracts in and out from the brisket or the neck. It really doesn't choke them. It just like wants on the lead. I'll be talking about maybe some brushes for show sticks that I might have, and just really talking about stuff like helping prepare for whatever you're gonna do. that tape on one of my holsters, and I had 2 sticks here for me. So if you ever hold a stick, you want to point the pointy side down. Never let it up unless if you're walking. But if you're, well, let's do this. So if there's somebody beside you, you don't want to swing your stick. You want to keep it, well, don't do that either. You're just being stupid over here. Just hold it straight. Don't drop it. If you're standing still, point it down. Don't jab it into the ground. This is why this stick is kind of bent. We kind of want to be stupid with our sticks, and that's not what you're supposed to do. This one's kind of straight. You want your stick to be straight. There's different lengths for sticks. Like, one is taller than the other. I think the longer sticks fit me because I have shorter arms and I'm like a tiny T-Rex. I don't have long legs either, so it's kind of hard for me, but I get the longer sticks. My brother quit steers this year, so it just depends on if I need to use the shorter one or the longer one. I prefer if you're like 5 foot, you probably need a shorter stick or a longer stick. If you're taller than that, you might need a shorter stick. So you can reach back to the back legs and bring it up if they need to. I might be talking about some other supplies, but I don't know if I'll get that today. But like I was talking about the hays, I know I might be editing this later, but this is like grass hay. Is different from the other hay that we have. This is kind of like in big bales instead of those ones. Those are the same bales, but they're kind of different. This is our corral system, kind of. You have somebody here, and then they pull this rope, and it closes that right there for their head. Our corral system is different from other people's. We have different things in here. So, like, it just depends on if you have a corral system or not. Mainly I might be talking about some shampoos and some brushes and stuff that I have that we need to use to make sure our steers are calm and ready for a show. So I'll be talking about, oh, sorry. I found this stuff. I'm trying to bounce you guys. Okay, now you can see. This is called Capcom. I don't know how much we give per steer, but right now we have 3 steers and a mama and a baby. So what this does is you put it on their nose, and it kind of helps them to calm down and not kind of want to be mad at you. They kind of want to be friends with you. I really don't know how much you use per steer, but this is really helpful. I think we got this off of Amazon. It is right there, the label. It comes in this nice. Some of the stuff is kind of expensive. Like our feed, I think it's $15 or $25 for 20. So per sack is probably $15 to $20. But if you want to get 20 bags, you're going to have to times 15 or 20 to get whatever amount you're wanting to spend on stuff. Now, I don't know if I have any more of this, but this is probiotics. It kind of helps them to stay calm and not be rambunctious. You just put it in their mouth. It doesn't go anywhere else, just in their mouth. They kind of like to chew on it, kind of want to spit it out, but that's normal for them. It's made for goats, horses, and cattle. I think there's different flavors like apple and cinnamon and like some other ones. Don't let children eat this. This is not for children to eat. It's for steers only. We have some probiotics. This is what helps them, like, this is the same brand as the other thing. So this is different from that. This is not going to calm them down. This is just going to help them, like, not to bloat and stuff. And so, like, it, like, helps them not to bloat. Baking soda helps too, but really you might need a bloating block. It helps with their bloat. Sometimes if they get really bloated, you want to walk them around try to like get them off the feed and not like take them really off, but like at least bump it down a few pounds. But it's really hard to depend if they're bloated or not. And then maybe one more thing I will talk about is thing that I kind of used on my steer last year because he had this kind of. So this is kind of like tail ornament because my steer started losing a lot of hair on the tail tip. At the end of the tail, like their hair is like really curly, but then they kind of lose hair. And this is vet wrap. We kind of wrapped it up in a brownish color for him because he was a Hereford. But referring on what steer you have, you might want to match the color as best as you can. Don't have like bright pink or blue or bright green. Like get a color that matches them the most. Maybe in my next video I'll talk about the types of hay and the type of breeds. Maybe I'll talk about some things that you might need, like brushes and what they're used, and I'll show you how to put a halter on a calf or a steer. And I'll tell you what's the difference between a bull and a steer, because you might need to know that before you go show. And you might need to know their weight because that kind of matters what their feed. Right now we're feeding 2 steers 19 because we bumped them down 1 or 2. I don't know how much we bumped them down. Then my other steer that's getting bloated right now, kind of ish. We feed him 9 pounds per day. We have a lovely scale back there. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah. Preferring on what type of feed you want to get, it just depends. But if you get the Show Champion stuff, that's kind of like vitamins, I think. I don't really know. But it kind of helps with the stuff. And like, don't get grass hay, because grass hay is kind of going to make them bloated too. So just like, probably get some feed hay that has like wheat or milo in it. Don't get the corn in it, and preferably do not feed them a lot of milo or wheat, because that is going to make them bloated and they want to eat it all and it's going to make them die. So like minimize their average daily feeding. In the very beginning of the year, I got my 3 steers. We fed them light. We fed them only in the morning. But now, because we're later in the year, we fed them twice a day. So we feed them at morning and night. My dad feeds them before school and I feed them after school. And maybe on the weekends, if you have time, you can like go out there, kind of get along with them, know them, kind of know their personalities, and try to get along with them. Preferably if you have some bull calves that you're going to make into steers, you want them to know you a lot. Because like I have a steer right now that's mine that I raised, and he is a loving little child. That's all I'm going to say. He's loving. He just wants to lick you and try to untie your shoelaces. So in another video, I'll talk about what type of clothes you need to wear to a showmanship or show arena. Definitely not what I'm wearing, because you're definitely not going to wear this to arena. I'm wearing shorts and a hoodie, and I know I sound terrible because I'm kind of sick, but I want to make sure you're wearing something that you can show in, and I'll talk about that in another video. And I'll talk a lot about some horses and maybe pigs, but I really don't know. It just depends. And yes, I might be turning the camera around because I'm trying to show you guys stuff. So if you see some clips that don't kind of match up, that's because I'm turning the camera around because I'm doing it off my phone. So just ignore that because I don't know how to edit. It's my first time. So that's all I'm going to talk about today. Maybe next week probably I'll talk about some brushes and stuff that you need. Bye.